With the Rekord videos being finished quite recently, we are starting off with a new series. Despite we've already started the Captain series and the Admiral series, this time we're starting the Opel Commodore series, which basically was a more luxurious Rekord. The Opel Commodore A, produced from 1967 to 1971, was a mid-sized luxury car that served as a more powerful and upscale version of the Rekord C. Sharing its foundational design with the Rekord C, the Commodore A distinguished itself by exclusively featuring 6-cylinder engines, setting it apart from its 4-cylinder counterpart in the Rekord C. The Commodore A was available in several body styles: a 2-door coupe featuring a sleek sporty design with a sloping roofline, a 4-door sedan offering practicality with a spacious interior, and a convertible, which was a less common variant providing an open-top driving experience. The exterior design showcased clean lines and a prominent front grille, embodying the automotive aesthetics of the 1960s, especially the front grille, which was called a Coke bottle, and the design of the car, which in any case was called a Coke bottle. Chrome accents and well-defined contours added to its elegant appearance, and the Rekord C was a very good-looking car, and so was the Commodore A, because they were very look-alike. Inside, the Commodore A emphasized comfort and luxury. The cabin was adorned with high-quality materials, including plush, upholstery and wooden trim elements. The dashboard was designed for driver convenience, featuring clear instrumentation and accessible controls. Depending on the trim level, amenities such as radio and advanced heating systems were available, enhancing the overall driving experience of the car. Throughout the car, a lot of wood could also be seen, as well as more luxurious items than in the Opel Rekord C, for example. The Opel Commodore A offered a range of 6-cylinder engines, all of which provided a step up in performance compared to the Rekord C. While the Commodore A used the same platform as the Rekord C, it exclusively featured 6-cylinder engines and no 4-cylinder engines, except for models like the Rekord C Sprint and some other cases. The lineup started with a 2.2-liter inline-6, which was available between 1967 and 1968. It featured basically the same engine that was also available in the Rekord C, and this was one of the few that was. It had 95 horsepower and 157 Nm, giving the car a decent top speed of 164 km an hour, and a 0 to 100 time of, which was quite decent, 14.5 seconds. Although not being that fuel efficient, rated at 11.2 liters per 100 kilometers. The 2200 engine, first seen in the Rekord C in December 1966, was also offered in the new Commodore when it was launched in February 1967. However, most Commodore buyers chose the larger engines, leaving the 2200 version a slow seller in both the Commodore and the Rekord ranges. Therefore, the engine was only available for a year, and if I'm correct, it also was only available for a year in the Rekord C lineup as well. The engine bigger than the 2.2 liter was the 2.5 liter, also an inline-6, and this gave the car 115 horsepower and 174 Nm, giving the car a much better top speed of 175 km an hour. Also, the 0 to 100 time was increased drastically, as the 0 to 100 time at this point only was 13 seconds, and fuel efficiency wise the car didn't get that much worse, as the fuel efficient per 100 kilometers was still rated at an average of 11.2 liters per 100 kilometers, which actually was not that much worse. You also had a little more powerful standard version of this 2.5 liter inline-6. This gave the car 120 horsepower and still the same 174 Nm, although the top speed was higher as well, giving the car a top speed of 182 km an hour and also a faster 0 to 100 time of this time 12 seconds instead of 13 seconds. Also, the fuel efficiency was increased and improved, as the fuel efficiency was 10.7 liters per 100 kilometers, giving the car half a liter less than a normal 2.5 liter. You also had the GS version, which was available throughout its whole lineup between 1967 and 1971. This was a 2.5 liter inline-6 as well, but with 130 horsepower and 186 Nm, giving the car more power overall. It was a little bit faster than the more powerful standard version, as it had a top speed of 185 km an hour. Therefore, the 0 to 100 time also was better, rated at 10 seconds from 0 to 100, although the fuel efficiency was a bit worse, rated at 11 liters per 100 kilometers, being still very respectable. The Rekord C also had some engines within this, which was basically a detuned version of this engine, which was available in the Rekord C Sprint, and this produced 106 horsepower. But the higher performance 115 horsepower and 130 horsepower versions were exclusive to the Commodore A and weren't available in the Rekord C. For the cases of people which wanted a bigger engine than the 2.5 liter, you also had a 2.8 liter inline 6, which was available between 1970 and 1971, basically the last years of production of the Commodore A. This was the GS version and basically had the most power of a non-fuel injected engine. It had 143 horsepower and 223 Nm of torque, giving the car a very good top speed of 190 km an hour and the 0 to 100 time being lower than 10 seconds for the first time of only 9.8 seconds. Because of the bigger engine, also the fuel efficiency was a bit worse than the other 2.5 liter engines, for example, as the fuel efficiency was 11.5 liters per 100 kilometers. And this engine yet again was exclusive to the Commodore A and not available in any Rekord C variant. As said before, you also had fuel injected engines called the GSE, with the E standing for Einspritzung, which meant fuel injection in German. This was also a 2.5 liter inline 6 with fuel injection available between 1970 and 1971, giving the car 150 horsepower but a little less Nm than the 2.8 liter with 196 Nm. The top speed whatsoever was higher than the 2.8 liter GS with 197 km an hour, and it was also faster from 0 to 100 with 9.3 seconds. It also was more fuel efficient at 10.5 liters per 100 kilometers, giving the car a better fuel efficiency of 1 liter than the 2.8 liter GS models, which wasn't fuel injected. This advanced fuel injected engine was exclusive to the Commodore A and was not available yet again in the Rekord C lineup, although during this period fuel injected engines are also slowly becoming available for the less luxurious Rekord C. These engines were paired with either a 4-speed manual or a 3-speed automatic transmission in the later years, driving the rear wheels, with the earlier 1967 and 1968 models also having a 2-speed automatic gearbox available as well, being succeeded by the 3-speed automatic after 1968. Despite the Commodore A already somewhat being a special version of the Rekord C, the Commodore A's lineup also included special performance-oriented models. As we talked about before, the GS and the GSE models were examples for this. The GSE featured a more powerful engine and sportier suspension tuning. It was also available as a coupe only and was therefore also fitted with other exterior equipment than the Rekord C. The GSE was introduced in 1970 and this model boasted fuel injection, delivering enhanced performance and efficiency. Although being similar to the GS, the GSE, as its badge implies, did not utilize carburetors. The E, meaning Einspritzung or fuel injection in English, made its difference very clear with the GS. These variants were distinguished by unique badging, sportier trims, interior and exterior wise, and additional performance features. The Rekord C or Commodore A V-body platform was also used by GM to produce other models in many markets. These include the Ranger sold in mainland Europe and also in South Africa, as well as the GM or Chevrolet Opala, which basically was built and sold in South America, especially in Brazil, from 1968 to 1992, 21 years after the discontinuation of the Commodore A and the Rekord C. The Ranger and Opala production commenced 2 years after the Commodore A's debut in 1966, as they both started production in 1968. Throughout its production run, the Commodore A saw a total production of approximately 156,330 units being produced, including 2,574 GS and GSE variants. This figure includes all body styles and engine configurations. Competitor-wise, in the European market, the Commodore A competed with other executive cars, such as the Ford 20M or 26M, which was Ford's offering in the executive segment available with similar engine specifications and configurations. Also the BMW 2500 or 2800, which was BMW's luxury sedan, because the Commodore also was available as a 2 or 4-door sedan. and this car was known for their performance and engineering. And also the Mercedes-Benz W114 and W115, which was Mercedes' mid-size race offering a blend of luxury and performance. Predecessor and successor wise, the Commodore A was preceded by the Opel Rekord 6-cylinder models, which laid the foundation for a more performance-oriented executive car in Opel's lineup. The successor eventually was the Opel Commodore B in 1972, and this featured an updated styling, improved technology and continued focus on performance and luxury. Thanks for watching this video. To be able to upload more videos in the future, please consider becoming a member of my channel or sending a super thanks on this video. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Don't forget to check out this playlist with many interesting videos covering various parts of the automotive industry, and I will see you in the next video.